Hey, good morning everyone. How's it going? So what am I working on now? Well, I got a 2011 Hyundai Sonata, and it got towed into me. Why did it get towed in? Apparently, a transmission line blew off of it, and the tow truck driver pointed it out. I guess because this thing leaked oil everywhere. The tow truck driver pointed it out to the customer and said, "Hey, you got a transmission line off," and he kind of slid it back on. I saw from underneath the hood. It's very difficult to see. That's why I'm not filming it from there. I got to go from underneath and show you that. But let me show you this. From underneath the vehicle, at the back, you can see we have transmission fluid all the way back here, coating the exhaust system, all over the frame, suspension, all over the wheel and tire, the brakes. It's absolutely saturating the underside of this. So I gotta pull this shield down. I'm gonna go get some gloves because this is gonna get messy. I'm not gonna film every aspect of this because, like I said, I gotta have the gloves on and stuff like that, only because of this, how messy this is gonna be. You can see tranny fluid everywhere. So, but let me get this cover down and let me show you what I saw from up top. So with the shield out of the way, what do we see? This radiator is brand new. Check that out. So did they not secure that all the way? Or what happened? Why did that just pop off? It doesn't feel like that clamp has got a whole lot of tension. I mean, maybe it does. Let me get a pair of pliers, let me squeeze that, put that on there, and then I'm gonna see if I can easily pop it off, because if I can, then we're gonna have to put a regular clamp on there. Okay, so as you see, I got the clamp on fully, or I got the hose on fully and the clamp is in place. But now, what if I just grab the hose? Will it pop off? Yes, and it does. I mean, that came off way too easy. So we're gonna put a regular clamp on this to hold that in place. Okay, let's do that. So what we're gonna use is this style clamp. I prefer these. Hang on. These were originally known as fuel injection clamps. I don't know what they call them now. But anyway, I have a selection of these in my toolbox. So this is what we're going to use. This is very good because it gets them nice and tight. And it's better than a regular worm clamp in the way it grips. A regular worm clamp has a tendency to put tension on the top where the screw actually is, and then on the bottom also. Whereas this seems to be better in holding like a 360-degree clamping force. So we're going to put this on, and we're going to do the top one too. Okay, so there you can see the clamp is on and tight. And no, it ain't budging now. So that's good. I'm happy with that. We're gonna let this thing down and do the upper one. So this mess that's on this thing now, I think what we're gonna have to do is clean up underneath the hood, and then we're also gonna have to probably go through a car wash to clean the underside of this thing up, see what the customer wants to do. But now I gotta fill the tranny. So to fill the tranny on these things, they do have like a fill port at the top, but they're a little bit of a nightmare to get to. And what you do is you take this plug out right here, and you're supposed to fill it until it starts coming out of there. You got to start it up, recycle it through the gears, get the transmission warm, and then make sure the fluid's dripping out of here. Basically, I just fill them right through there, do the same thing instead of going through that fill plug up top. Fill plug up top is kind of a nightmare. To get to the top clamp, I got to take this air duct out. As you see, it's down there away. So let me just get this duct out of the way, and then we should be able to get that clamp. All right, with those 210s out, this thing just pulled up and out of the way. So now I can get to this clamp right here. Basically just squeeze it, pull that down, and then we're just going to exchange that clamp with one of those other clamps. Rather be safe than sorry, that's why I'm changing that. That one feels tight, but I'd rather be safe. Okay, so you see I got the clamp on. I don't know if you noticed before, but the radiator itself has a holder here for the tranny cooler line, and it was the line itself wasn't even in there. So now I realized once the air baffle or air inlet, whatever you want to call it, is off, you can actually get to the fill, which that's the fill right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to drain whatever's left inside the transmission, and this way I could do a fill basically from start. It calls for 7.5 quarts, but I think they tell you to add 5 and then add the rest later. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drain it out, least get whatever fluid's in there out and then go from there. So we're gonna put this up in the air, I'm gonna drain the rest. All right, so I already cracked the drain plug loose. It's a 24 millimeter in case you're wondering. So I don't have any idea how much fluid's in here. I should put this funnel up a little higher. Hopefully it's not empty. Shouldn't be. Ooh, that's not good. That is not good. Could have toasted this tranny. It's completely empty. All right. Well, only one way to find out. Put fluid in it, drive it. Get a closer look at that. I'm going to wipe that off on a rag here. I should have grabbed my my tripod, but I didn't. Some mud. All right. Well, we're just going to let it drip out for now. I'm waiting on fluid. I didn't have fluid in stock. So hopefully the fluid will get here soon and I could just add fluid to it and hopefully they didn't damage it. Fingers crossed. We'll find out. All right, so it's a 3/8 ratchet, some extension on it. Down to the bottom there. Take that off, see down the hole. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna add 5 quarts to it, because that's what the specifications call for. They say add 5 after a drain. So we're going to add 5, and then we're going to run it through its gears. And we're going to go up in the air, and we're going to pull the other plug out and see if anything starts coming out of it. I don't think it will, but we're going to find out. All right, so this is a gallon right here. I always keep an eye at the bottom. Make sure it's not working its way out through the bottom. You know, this is airbound, so it's going to glug probably at some point. So this is going to be an ultra slow fill. I'm not going to bore you with that whole thing. It just blooped. Is it going to do it again? Should just sometimes. There it goes. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour it in really slow. This way I don't have to worry about it doing that glug glug thing or blip blip thing or whatever you want to call it. All right, let's get this oil in there. Tranny fluid. Okay, so I got 5 quarts in there. I got that whole gallon in and then a little more. So now I put a bucket underneath it. So I'm going to pull that drain, that level plug out. Like I said, on some of these it's difficult to get to this, so I'll usually just go through the bottom there. Doesn't matter, it's 6 to 1, half a dozen the other. All right, let me flow into this car. Hang on a second. It's usually not pretty watching me try to get in and out of a car when it's tight. All right, so we're inside. So hopefully I will engage the gear. Back up and park. And we don't have a check engine light on. I didn't disconnect the battery or anything. I know, we're going to find out. But let me pull that level plug out and then we're going to add fluid until I see it start coming out. It's still cold yet. It should be a little bit warmer, but right now I'm more concerned with, hey, is the tranny any good? So let's go do that. Back under the hood here, I already cracked that free. What's up, Alan? So this way I can take it out nice and easy. And as you can see, there's no fluid coming out. So we're going to add more fluid so it starts coming out. Alright, so like I said, I used up a gallon already and then a quart from here. So now we're just going to add until we see it start coming out down there. anything just yet. So we're going to keep adding. Just add slowly. Oh, there you see it start coming out. So now, considering the transmission's cold, and I just got it to start dribbling out, it should be perfect. It'll probably be a slightly overfilled, but I'm not going to really worry about it too much. Like I said, I'm really curious to see if this transmission's got any damage to it. I just don't know yet. So this is that plug that I took out from the side. This is the level plug, and it's just like a quarter turn or a half turn, and then it comes out. You need a 3/8 drive. You can see that, yeah, 3/8 drive to get that out, just like the fill. All right, let me get this back in place. Sorry, it's too dark. Let me get this back in place. I'm going to put that fill plug back in place, and we're going to take this thing for a ride. I'm going to probably leave that lower shield off for now. Nah, you know what? I'll put that lower shield back on because there's really nothing I'm going to be able to do to it. And who knows if the customer wants to do a tranny if it needs one. I'm hoping it doesn't need it, but we're going to find out. Now, one thing to keep in mind, this is a plastic plug basically into a plastic housing. So it doesn't need to be super tight. Just snug, stop. You don't have to go any more than that because you're just going to strip it out or distort it. So let me just get the rest of this back together and put that lower shield back in place. I just want to show you up close and personal. The level plug has stops on it. See that? And it's like I can actually turn that by hand, but they stop there. So obviously it's not super tight. All right, let me wipe that down. Let's put this lower cover on and let's road test this. All right, back inside. It's got 142,000 miles in case anybody's wondering. Goes into reverse. All right. Let's go up the road and see what she does. I'm hopeful. The customer did say they pulled over immediately as soon as they realized they were pouring transmission fluid out. So hopefully they weren't under any kind of a strain at the time. They just basically coasted off the side of the road, but we're going to find out right now. Okay. So far, so good. So far, so good. I was kind of hoping to catch this late. This way I could feel it from a dead stop again, instead of having to make the turn out of the driveway. Sometimes that's a little rough. All right, we're going to come to a full stop even though the light turned green, and we're going to go. So first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Okay. It feels good. I'm going to take it for a longer ride. I want everything to get hot, and then we'll wrap this up, but I think we're okay. All right, so I went on a pretty good road test there, and it felt good. No issues. It's just perfectly fine. So I'm happy with that. So now I'm sitting at a traffic light, and we're going to take off from this light, and we're going to feel it shift again now that it's hot. And it's, like I said, it shifts perfectly fine. Come on, light, change. There we go. Some junk in the trunk. But there's no slippage in between gears, no shutters. Feels perfectly fine. So that's good. I am happy with that. Customer's lucky. I've seen it happen before where transmission line blew off or rotted out or whatever happened, and it leaked out all the fluid, and customer just drove it until it wouldn't go anymore and toasted the transmission. So I've seen that quite a few times actually over the years. Probably, in all honesty, probably 9 or 10 times I've seen that, where tranny line and losing all the fluid smoked the tranny. So just something to be mindful of. If you ever lose transmission fluid, stop. Just stop. Don't drive. All right, so that's going to end this video. I'm heading back to the shop right now. Hopefully you got something out of that. This is a happy ending on this one. I'm happy. I'm glad for that. Happy for that. All right. I tend to ramble. Have you noticed that? I'm sure you have. All right, guys. Hopefully you get something out of my videos. If you are, hit that like button. If you could, please subscribe. All right, guys. Have a great day. Keep wrenching.